that share similar interests, it's refreshing, it's beautiful. I can't be wrong because this person feel like me.
If you thought Charlie Woerner was just a blocking tight end, I'm afraid you're completely wrong. He actually is very good at toting the rock. Very solid hands, but when he needs to make a block, he does this. Oh! Y'all never mind the cicadas in the background. I'm front porch chilling right now. But you gotta love the effort that Charlie Woerner displays. Look at this. Knocks one guy down, gets up, moves on to the next block, hits another guy, all that yak. Good vision, good balance. Now, in high school, he dominated because he was one of the bigger kids out there. Relentless in getting those extra yards.
Welcome to our music family. Anyway, well.
Beautiful concentration right here. I love seeing the homegrown talent, born and raised from Rabun County to UGA, big time player at Athens. Look at that block, that's a pancake. Slobber knocker. Now, as Charlie Woerner's game evolved from high school to college to the pros, you know, other athletes begin to catch up. He is not the fastest, but you cannot discount this player's passion right here. His attention to detail is superb, and he's just really solid at what he does, and he'll do whatever is asked of him. A total team player, and I'm really excited for him to be added to the Falcons. And I think the Atlanta Falcons have one of the better tight end groups in the NFL, with the addition of Charlie Woerner, adding to John Fitzpatrick, two dogs. that can block, still catch, still make plays. And Charlie Woerner, he's going to fight for everything he gets. You have Kyle Pitts in there, and as the main weapon, as the main target, and these guys are going to eat. I think Charlie Woerner is going to get, more than expected as far as catches go and yards go and impact go. I think he's going to be a big impact player.
Hey, congrats. We're so pumped we were able to get you. We'd love to come.
Yeah, me too.
Talk to John Amber, our tight end coach, soon, man. But we've had you pegged for a while. You're going to love it out here. We've heard only good things, man, and we can't wait to get you here.
With a quarterback like Kirk Cousins delivering the ball and spreading it around, I do think, Charlie Woerner is a bit of a sleeper added to this roster, and he will help the run game as well. He attacks on his blocks, and I expect Algier and Bijan to definitely benefit from him being added to this roster.
Welcome to our music family.
Not only does he add an element of pass catching and big playability, blocking, he also helps on special teams as well.
First, welcome back. Just your initial thoughts when the phone rang and said, all right, deal's done, moving coast, heading back to Southeast, a place you're familiar with.
Just excitement, when everything happened on, the other day. It's just excitement for me and my wife, to get back closer to family, to play for the hometown team that I grew up cheering for and pulling for. Just very, very excited and very humbled to be back. We talked at the Super Bowl, that's right.
Yes. Hey, just going back to being named the Super 11 in 2015 by the AJC, and now coming back to play for the Falcons. Just kind of tie that all together for me.
Man, it's funny you bring up the Super 11, man. That was a long time ago now. It was really cool to be honored that way by the AJC, going into senior year of high school. What a cool, I remember that was my first weird photo shoot deal. That was a lot of fun back then. But yeah, to come back, to play for the Atlanta Falcons, and just the ties, to everything throughout my entire life. Never left the state of Georgia until I went to the 49ers. So to be back connected with everybody is so cool.
What exactly are you excited for to be back? Any specific hobbies you're looking to get back into, or just anything like that?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're just excited to be back, to play for the Falcons, a team that I grew up playing for. But man, to be back closer to family, I got 6 siblings, so many friends and family that live in the area. Me and my wife live in Athens in the off season already. So just so excited to be able to go to a birthday party, or, go hang out with someone in the afternoon that I haven't been able to do in the last 4 years. And excited to get to hunt and fish some more. None of them back full time. Something I'm very passionate about. So yeah.
I mean, I know you got a nice bag with the contract, but how much of this is going to have to go to tickets with your siblings and your fans and your family? That's first of all. And two, what was your perception of this Falcons offense from the outside, and how do you see your role fitting in?
Yeah, with the tickets, man, it's been hard to get anyone to come out to games. I'm not blaming my family. It's just that everyone's got kids and life, so we're super humbled to have, family come to these games, and we'll figure out all that later at a later date. But just to be able to have family come consistently to games is going to be really cool. And to the offense, I think, with the old regime under Smith, and they're changing now to more of a Rams style offense it's all underneath kind of the Shanahan tree. So it's not going to be quite like what I've came from the 49ers, but it's going to be similar. And so I think I'll fit in and find a role and contribute to help this team in a good way.
What did you learn from backing up George over the last few years that maybe you could, I guess, pass on to Kyle in that way?
Yeah, I learned what it means to be an NFL tight end first and foremost. I mean, he taught me he taught me what it meant to be, as a young kid coming into the league, learning to find my way, to be consistent, to be just so hardworking, show up day in and day out. It ain't easy to make it to the playoffs consistently, and it ain't easy. For his case, man, I don't know how many times he's been Pro Bowl the last few years or All Pro or whatever, but man, to just watch him in his work ethic, even in the off season. I spent one off season with him in Nashville too, so I just learned so much from George. I attribute so much to him, and so much of who I am and as a player and how I show up day in, day out stems from him. So I'm just going to continue to bring that here to the Falcons. And so, I hope I rub off on a lot of my teammates, and just excited to get to work with a lot of my teammates.
And again, you may have been asked, apologize if you have. What goes into being a high-level blocker as a tight end? Because it seems like that's what really you're known for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think over half the battle is just wanting to do it. I think a lot of guys don't want to do it, so if you got the want to, you're kind of getting half the battle out. And then after that, it's a lot of experience, technique, and just being gritty. You just got to figure it out. Really, you got to be disciplined with your technique and run blocking, and again, that's a big thing I've learned from George, learned from, just being a part of the Shanahan system and how we run an offense. So, you just got to want to do it.
Help me go a little bit deeper into what differences you expect in these offensive systems, because we've been told that the Shanahan and McVay systems do share some parallels, but then they divide. Can you educate me a little bit on where you expect to see the similarities and differences?
Yeah, I think the McVay system, the break off of Kyle's, I think they do less 21 personnel, so they don't got a fullback out there. So you're going to see a lot more 11 and a lot more 12. One tight end and two tight end personnels.
Right.
So. Hoping to see more of that and be able to help out in a lot of the 12 personnel alongside Kyle Pitts out there. So
was that 12 personnel stuff a selling point for you in the fact that it would give you a space to get more involved in the offensive package?
Sure. I mean, when you just look at when you look at the offenses, you look at, who Coach Morris brought here with Zach Robinson, the offense that he's going to bring. I think just looking at that, getting on the field a little bit more and helping out to win more games. Definitely was a selling point.
Okay. Woerner will be a good blocking tight end. They drafted Woerner for a reason. And when I watch Woerner, he reminds me of watching George Kittle in college. He will run through people. He'll rumble down the field and pick up yards after contact.
Also, I got to mention, shout out to one of my subscribers. I'm going to do a video because he requested it on Charlie Woerner. And then I was thinking, okay, Charlie Woerner and then also John Fitzpatrick. Both these guys are local guys. Both these guys went to school, high school in Georgia. I think Fitzpatrick went to Brookhaven, and then Charlie Woerner, he went to Rabun County, which I know that county, and he balled out in Rabun County in high school. Both of these tight ends went to UGA and was Georgia Bulldogs, so they're doing big things. And now we got both of them on the squad behind Kyle Pitts, who is that weapon, that threat. And then you got Charlie Woerner and Fitzpatrick that can be serviceable in the pass game. Like, don't forget about them, because they might do like Hooper did and just run down the sideline wide open for a touchdown, because they both got ball skills, but they're mainly going to be used to block and seal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do a video on Charlie Woerner and show y'all just what kind of athlete this guy really is, because he's underrated as a tight end, as a playmaker, and Fitzpatrick as well.
God Behind Bars is a ministry to inmates, and we have an app called the Pando app, where we get the opportunity to stream to about 1.7 million incarcerated individuals around the world. And obviously, being the Super Bowl, being on one of the biggest stages in the world, you have used your platform for purpose and ultimately glorifying Jesus. If somebody's sitting in prison right now and they're kind of on the fence of wondering whether or not this Jesus thing is for them, what would you say to them? Why Jesus?
Man, why Jesus? That could go for you could have a whole class on that or a 4-hour conversation. But for me, man, why Jesus? because I mean he paid the ultimate price for me. I mean he shed his blood on the cross for my sins, because I'm a broken sinner, and if I didn't have the blood of Jesus, I know I'd be going to hell. So when I committed my life to Christ, senior year of high school, it just gave me such a confidence, such a perspective, I knew I was standing on the solid rock, and man, I could live my life free, and it's just huge. It's everything to me. My faith in Jesus is everything.
Well, I know that for a lot of people, like, loneliness is a real thing, and as an athlete, I was a former athlete. You go through those seasons of loneliness as you're kind of trying to focus on your goals and make it to that next kind of step in your career. How has Jesus played a part in that as you've kind of overcome those seasons of loneliness in your own life?
Yeah, I think to loneliness, me and my wife, we came out to California. We left everything that we knew. We left all of our family from Georgia and North Carolina, and so we had a lot of seasons of loneliness, coming out and ups and downs and everything, and sometimes wonder, what am I doing out here? What's the purpose? Honestly, you just have to have faith in the seeds that are being planted, even though sometimes you won't see those seeds come to fruition. But then sometimes you're in that lull, and man, the Lord He'll bless you with giving an affirmation or a encouragement from a friend or a peer, and you're like, man, I know that He's got me out here for a reason, or I know what He's doing in my life right now is for a reason. It's those affirmations from someone you might not even expect. Someone's like, hey man, you've been a lot to me, these last few months, and how you're walking and how you handle yourself, and how you talk about Jesus. And it's like, it's huge to get those random things of encouragement. Yeah, it's definitely has been tough at times, but man, He's always provided me with a little bit of encouragement when I need it.
That's awesome. Well, as a father of 5, legacy is a big, thank you so much. It's a big deal to me. How has your dad played a role in your life, and what does that meant to you?
Yeah, so I'm one of 7 kids. So both my parents, man, they did such a good job raising us. Me and my siblings are all super close, and the legacy that my parents have passed on to us is humongous. And I've learned so much from my parents, my dad, of what I want to instill. And I have one son, he's a year and a half now, and me and my wife want 3 to 4 kids. So it's everything. Legacy is what you pass down. Be fruitful, multiply, and raise up believers who are going to go make an impact. So to me, that's the biggest thing you can do as a Christian, other than go be a disciple, is make disciples. So it's huge, making your legacy in your household.
As a dad of 1, he said he's 1 year old.
1.5. Yeah.
What's your proudest moment so far?
So the other day, it was like a divisional round, so two weeks ago maybe. I was leaving to go to work. I think it was I was leaving, and he was all upset. His name's Henry. He was all upset. Leaving. I was leaving, and he ran up to me and gave me his little mini dump truck. He's like, Dad, he wanted me to take it, take it to work with me. And that, to me, I don't know, that just really hit me. And I've been carrying that little dump truck with me, I see it's in my backpack in the hotel right now, but it's been everything to me. For him to show that he misses me, he loves me, because he can't say all that, but he showed me that and that, so it was pretty special.
That's awesome, man. Last question, just a fun football question. What is your most embarrassing moment, and then your greatest moment on the football field?
My greatest moment? I'll start with that one. Oh, man. Like individually or as a team?
Just individually.
Man, I don't know. I'm a team guy, so I'd have to say beating the Lions last week was probably one of the coolest things ever. Yeah. Beating the Lions and probably winning in double overtime in the Rose Bowl was awesome in college.
Now that's a grand finale.